Hello, everyone. My name is Tracy Childers, and we have a very exciting case study today. I'm here with my good friend, Christina Hills. Welcome,
Hello.
Christina. Thanks for joining us.
Hello, Tracy. I'm thrilled to be here.
I'm going to start by saying Christina and I go way back. I'm going to estimate it was like 2003 or so when I first met you. And I would love to hear how you got into this, just what you're doing in general, because, and we'll make that kind of short because you have so much stuff to share with your different sites. I do want to preface it by saying that you were one of our very first customers when we did the initial release just to a closed group of, I guess, beta testers. You were one of the original ones. So it's super exciting to, over the years, see you use WishList Member and in so many powerful ways that most people wouldn't even think of. So how did you even get into this field of working with sites and teaching people how to build sites?
So my first business was called Shopping Cart Queen, and in that business, I helped people set up their online shopping carts. And in that business, I discovered the biggest bottleneck where people didn't know how to build a website or they didn't know how to manage their website because I'd get them set up and I'd say, here's your link to add your shopping cart to your site, and they didn't know what to do.
Mm.
So I started in 2008 teaching WordPress in my program called the Website Creation Workshop. And then that business, that program took over and I stopped doing Shopping Cart Queen. I dropped that business because not everybody needs a shopping cart, but everybody needs a website. So
Right.
anyone who's online needs a website. The other reason why I morphed into just the website creation workshop is it's a very creative program. It's very creative. So what happens is people are not building cookie cutter sites. Students who come to me, each website is very unique to them, reflecting their business, their personality, and who they are. So I enjoy teaching it because it's a creative process. And people, in the process of building your website, you figure out what it is that you are about.
Mm.
So that's why I like teaching it, and I've been teaching it for 15 years now.
Yeah, I remember when you first made that transition from the shopping cart queen, and WordPress was really new at the time and everything. So you got in really, really early. So why don't we take a look at your screen? Because we're gonna
Okay.
take a look at the website creation workshop, but then you also have some others, and we'll go through some of that and show people how you're
Okay.
using it creatively.
All right. So I'll go ahead and share my screen. So this is my main site, the websitecreationworkshop.com, and you'll find it at websitecreationworkshop.com. So this is my main public site that the public goes to, and I also have a blog. I put out, weekly blog posts to my community. And then when people purchase the course, they get into my members area. So what you're looking at now is a screenshot of my members area that after people have purchased, they get into this private membership area. And
And
what
are
I love,
you running that on a separate domain?
so this is on a separate domain.
Okay.
And you're probably going to laugh at me, Tracy, because at first I couldn't wrap my brain around it being on the same domain. And so
Mm-hmm.
I had it on a separate domain. Now, and we'll talk about this more. So people listening might be wondering, should my members area be on my same domain or should it be on a separate domain? And there's pluses and minuses to both of it. So the
Agreed.
plus of having a separate domain is knowing that everything's locked down. Like you can't get in to the members area unless you have a um, login. So if you try to go to my members area, you can't get in.
Okay.
Right? So you have to have a login to get in. And when I started with my VA who was helping me, it seemed mentally easier to know that when anyone's here, it's private and locked down
Okay.
versus my main website. So, but my other program, my graphics creation workshop, I'm also using WishList, but I'm sharing the domain name. So
Okay.
this is the public place you go to, and this is a little mini course on how to create graphics yourself without a graphic designer, without having to be a graphic designer. And the genesis of this was I had my website creation workshop and people were learning how to build WordPress sites, but they kind of needed to know how to make some graphics on their own.
Yeah.
So I decided I had some of it in this course, and then I realized, hey, I can turn this into a second course and sell it.
Nice.
So what I did was, and remember, I've had this program for 15 years. So what I did was I took out all of the content that had to do with creating graphics, and I created this new program. So I pulled it out. And there was a little bit of a transition. I think the first year, people in the program kind of got it for free. And then I separated it out because so now I can sell this. I can sell this as a separate program because not everybody is using WordPress, or maybe they already know WordPress, but they want to know how to make their own graphics.
Oh, okay.
So
Excellent.
this is my enrollment page is a public page. It's not locked down. So what I like about WishList is WishList lets you lock your whole site, lock parts of it. You know, it's very flexible. And Tracy, this is why I've been with WishList for so many years, is
I love
because of
that.
that flexibility of how I want to set up my membership programs. And I don't know, Tracy, do you distinguish like there's membership programs, there's courses? I don't know if we want to discuss the nuances of that in this
Yeah.
call.
I mean, I tell you what, let's look at this one right here since we're already on it. And can you scroll down? Because this is your sales page,
This is
correct?
my sales page,
Okay.
right?
So you're telling all about what they're going to get.
I'm telling about what they're going to get in the different modules. There's like a little video here,
Okay.
frequently asked questions, some
Perfect.
examples of my students, some testimonials, and then money back guarantee, and then the link to enroll, right? So
Okay.
now this goes to my shopping cart and people can pay.
And you use ThriveCart
I use
on this.
ThriveCart, right?
Okay. And so there's an integration with ThriveCart and WishList Member. So as soon as somebody pays, then the account gets created.
Exactly.
Okay.
And they get to the next page. And I can't remember how I'm doing it. I've tried it with they pick their own username and password, and I've also tried it where the system automatically sends them a username and password. And I think we've settled on they pick their own username and password.
Yeah, but I believe you're right. There is an option with that one.
There's two ways you can go. And I decided to do this program as actually an annual membership. So
Okay.
every year, and it's half price when they re-up. So right now it's on sale $195 for the year. And then at the end of the year, they can renew for another $95.
Okay. So you're discounting the front end, and then you're saying, I'm going to give you half off of what you originally paid if you renew.
Right. Right,
Okay.
to renew.
And that's a
Now,
really important lesson because sometimes people want to almost like overpromise and say you're going to have lifetime access and stuff. So you're saying, hey, we'll give you 1 year's worth of access. And then at the end of the year, you're saying, hey, if you want to continue for another year, you're giving them a discount. I love that.
there's different schools of thought on this, right? So the reason why it's annual is because they get 4 live workshops a year. They get 4 live
Okay.
trainings. Now,
Okay.
people listening could think, well, I don't want to do that. I just want it evergreen, right? And
Mm-hmm.
you could do that and just have it be evergreen and then give them lifetime, right?
Right.
So when deciding about lifetime, if there's no staff costs, lifetime is great.
Yeah.
If there's no staff costs. If I'm doing 4 live webinars a year to all the students, I want them to pay annually
That makes sense.
because otherwise it'll grow, grow, and grow, and you're not getting the revenue.
Right.
Now, in my program, they're allowed to I believe in this program, they're allowed to download everything so they don't have to renew
Okay.
at the end of the year. But I enjoy teaching live, and the students like coming to live. At least my community likes that. Or a
Yeah.
portion of them. You know, some of them don't. They just go online and watch the mini videos. But so
And
that
I,
is
I
why I'm doing it.
remember, Christine, I remember when you were, I believe you were primarily doing it live every time. And it looks like now it's more of a hybrid. You still do the live ones, but you also have the content so people can come in at any time.
Okay, so
Correct?
this is, you're talking about the website creation workshop,
Okay.
right?
Okay. Well, let's not
So,
get that confused. Let's go back to the graphics one and let's look at the inside because you showed
okay.
me a little bit about the inside in it. And I think that this is really important, what you shared with me earlier.
Now, here's what I love
Okay.
about WishList. The design of the inside can be any way you want it to look. You know, I've other um, programs like WishList, I think they lock you in, like
Mm-hmm.
other course things, they lock you in. But with WishList, I can have my members area look however I want it to look. So,
And so what theme are you using on
so
this
I'm
one?
using Divi.
Okay, so use the Divi builder. Okay.
Right. I'm using the Divi Builder, and I like the Divi Builder. I also like courses that are in a grid format. I
Mm-hmm.
find it's, for me, visually easier to understand.
Okay. So this is one thing that you and I already discussed, but on this one, the graphics creation workshop, as soon as they get access to everything,
To the
correct?
whole thing, yes. So on the home page, I've got a orientation module, just get them understanding how the program
Mm-hmm.
works. And then this one has 1, 2, 3, it has 4 modules. So it's kind of a mini course.
Mm-hmm.
And the 4 modules are reflected up here at the top, right? The
Okay.
intro, finding, creating, sizing, color tips. And then here's the calendar for when we're doing a live workshop.
Okay.
So when they sign up, here I'll go to this finding modules, they get access to everything. And the reason why is multiple reasons. One is the nature of this program, they really could move around and go in any order they could.
Okay.
So this module is all about how to find images. The bulk of my program is on creating. So how to create images yourself without being a graphic
Okay.
designer. So let's come back to the modules. So in this course, it's just like Netflix. They get inside, they get access to everything, and they can
Okay.
go in whatever order they want. As opposed to, can I move over to
Yeah,
this and
let's move
the
over here.
comparison? As opposed to the website creation workshop, I want people to go in order. And what I found, Tracy, over the years is at first, all the modules used to be open to everybody, and people would jump ahead, like to plugins and widgets, and get totally confused and then want
Yeah.
to drop out.
Mm.
So it's important for people who are listening as you're creating your own courses and your own membership sites. Think about, is it important that people go in an order, Or can it be like Netflix where they have access to everything? So this course started doing better, Tracy, when I locked it down. So what happens, let's say they move ahead, they click on a module they're not ready for, they're going to get this page is not open yet.
Nice.
And it's really important, and this is done with WishList, very easy. It's really important to explain to them what's happening. So I think that's a little gotcha WishList owners might not do. So it says this page is not open yet. You tried to access something. Submitting your badge, like they have to submit and get we call them like a Girl Scout, Boy Scout badge. For
Okay.
each module, we'll unlock the next module. Then I'm just letting them know if they think there's a mistake, they can email. But then I have a link to get back to the main members area.
Okay.
And then also this image, they can click on to get back to the main area.
Okay, let
So
me ask you a quick question about that. So the modules are, and you're saying they don't have access to them. So do you create a new membership level for each module?
yes,
Okay, perfect.
yes. There's a new membership level for each module.
Okay.
So this is pretty friendly, and they can click to get back to the main area. So when they join the program, the getting started and the first two modules are open. So this is the orientation
Okay.
and then module 1 and module 2. It is my personal preference that courses have an orientation. And I do a special orientation webinar so that people understand how it's going to work.
Okay.
And I do that because I like it. When I join courses, I like an orientation of here's how we're going to work together. Here's how your questions are going to get answered. Here's how you know you're doing well. And so,
And so you're kind of setting expectations for them in that,
yeah.
right?
And
Very good.
talking about all live versus pre, I don't like to use the word canned. What's a better word that you use?
Um, I don't know.
Okay.
We call them canned responses sometimes, but
All right. So for example, this is my getting started module. This is a video they can click to play, and it's
okay.
45 minutes. So I've designed my course, Tracy, so they don't have to come to any live webinars.
Okay, great.
They can sign up and they can immediately watch the getting started.
Okay.
But I do have a getting started live webinar because people have different learning styles.
Right. Okay.
Some people, they don't want to be bothered with webinars. They want to do it on their own time, like watching Netflix, and they don't want to show up live. Other people, they can't learn unless they show up live and there's a teacher.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit more labor on my end to show up live, but I found that some people they just really like that.
And how often do you do the live webinars?
We do them about once a week.
Okay.
About once a week. So that's
Yeah.
kind of
It really is an important lesson that you just shared right there, Christina, is everybody learns differently. I've mentioned this in the past. I had this goal of reading a certain number of books a year, and I always start with the best of intentions and I never hit the goal. And then I was like, you know what? It's okay to listen to audiobooks. And then once I started doing that, I hit the goal every single year.
Oh,
And
wow.
it's a different way of
Right.
learning,
Because you have a different learning style.
Mm-hmm.
And, the same that some people learn better with videos, some people learn better reading.
Yeah.
So that's why I do a combination.
So is with that being said, in some of your modules, are you teaching the video, but then also delivering the same content in written format,
It sort of
like with
depends. I would say
screenshots and
this,
stuff like that?
I'd say my programs are more heavily video,
Okay.
but I do have, like at the beginning of the module, I have what is your goal for the module, right? So
Okay.
this is an overall goal. This is a big picture overview of the
Okay.
program. And then I've got assignments, and then there's a whole bunch of little videos that they watch.
Okay.
And there's a little video with each assignment.
Very nice.
So, again, this program's been super successful. That's why I've been teaching it for 15 years. And so the website creation workshop is for people who are new to WordPress, just getting set up, just learning how to have a WordPress site. Some people have never had a website. Some people have had one that a designer has built for them, and they're tired of paying those fees.
Mm-hmm.
So once they get their site live, they can join my intermediate program called the Website Marketing Workshop. And
Okay.
so what I've done, and this will be important to people listening, is I created an intermediate program. So now after they finish the first, they can now buy the second, right? So
Perfect.
people listening, if you're going to create a course, put what's appropriate in that course, but don't keep giving them extra stuff, right? You want to have a monetization model where people kind of graduate and buy the next thing. There's
Right.
another important thing to that is people want to have the sense of accomplishment. People want to feel like they've finished something.
Totally
That's for
agree.
a course, like a membership area, you want them to stay in forever,
Yeah.
right? But a course, you want them to feel like they can finish. So in the website creation workshop, they finish that. Then I upsell them into my website marketing workshop. And now this is a members program that you pay
Okay.
monthly because you always need to market your website. So
Right.
this course doesn't have an end because you're always marketing. There's always new techniques. So this is for people whose site is live. They know the foundations of WordPress, and now they want to work more on creating content or integrating with social media or doing more with their website and email marketing, search engine optimization, selling products and services. So this is a ongoing membership program.
So let me ask you this, Christina. You're saying, hey, the next logical step, and I'm kind of breaking those up and having them as different sites. Um, do people always tend to go through the website creation workshop first and then they get upsold to this, or do you also have some people coming directly into that?
Some people come in, so here's my website, has my programs page.
Okay.
So some people do come directly into the website marketing workshop because
Okay.
they already know the foundation. Most people follow the path of my beginner program and then my intermediate program, but some do come straight in.
Right. And so how are you I mean you're teaching a lot about marketing and you already mentioned that you're posting blogs and are you building a mailing list? How do you get people aware of all the things that you have to offer?
So when they come, so this is the screenshot of my blog. So I send out a blog post every week.
Okay.
And I have on my right-hand sidebar my free report, my do-it-yourself website creation checklist. So people opt in to my site and then they get on my mailing list.
Okay.
And then I mail them. And, the important thing for people to know about mailing lists is some people will be on your mailing list forever and they'll
Mm.
never ever buy.
Yeah.
Some people will be on your mailing list and then after a few years they'll buy. or a year. So don't feel bad if people are not buying immediately, because some people it takes some time. And I think, Tracy, it sort of depends upon the nature of what a person is selling. But for the website creation workshop, some people right away know they need a website. Some people sign up and they've been working with a webmaster and they keep thinking they're going to make that work for them, and it just gets more expensive. And then they're like, I want to learn how to do this myself.
Yeah. And have you found that some people are the other way? Like I have seen it go both ways. You're like, I'm tired of paying the webmaster. I want to learn it myself. And then some people are like, I want to learn it myself. And then they're like, I'm tired of doing it myself and I just want to hire somebody out.
It definitely does go both ways. When your business grows and you get to the point where you've got a lot of money coming in, you may not want to be doing your website yourself. So a
Right.
lot of people, they grow and they get bigger, and then they get to the point where they're having their VA or they hire a company to manage their site. But the one thing I do want to comment on is sometimes your VA gets sick. Sometimes
Yeah.
something happens to that web design company. So even though, Tracy, my VAs are building my sites for me, but I'm also in there on important things. And if in a pinch, if somebody's sick or doesn't show up, I can do it myself.
Yeah. That
But
is
it is,
really important.
yeah, it's really, really important. You don't, you want to outsource so you can leverage your time, but you don't ever want to be really beholden to someone else so that you're totally dead in the woods if they disappear. So yeah, it
Totally
is,
agree
it's
with that.
common. And this one gal who signed up for my program, I ran into her at an event and she was telling me how thrilled she was because now she knows how to hire. And someone had quoted her this expensive price and she knew what it took to do that. And she said to them, no, 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 it doesn't cost that much. I want you to give me a better quote.
Mm,
So she was thrilled that she took it because she knew not only how to do it herself, but when hiring people, she knew what was a fair price.
that makes total sense. And I think that's super important. Well, let's do you have anything else you want to show on the screen or
I don't think so. I think I've
okay.
I've I've shown everything. I mean, I can stop.
Okay. Let's just stop the screen share there. Um but wow, those are some really important lessons. And so I'm I'm intrigued with the fact that you've been doing it for 15 years because I think sometimes, we've started WishList Member about 14 years ago. And I think sometimes people are always like, I mean, that's a long time, right? And sometimes you didn't know you started as the shopping cart queen, but sometimes you just work your way through it, and your site now is way different than it would have been back then. And you've probably seen that with your students just completely evolve as well.
Yeah, people evolve over time. You as a person and your business is going to evolve, and that's normal that it will evolve. And I have Shopping Cart Queen is still online, but it's really old and I don't maintain it. I just kind of keep it there for nostalgia reasons. But
Yeah.
that's why it's nice to have software like WishList that's really flexible, that as you
Mm.
grow and change, like I said at first, everything was open in the website creation workshop to all my students. And then I discovered, no, I needed to lock it down. And so that when they complete a module, they then move to the next one. So that's normal that we'll evolve as business owners.
And I love the fact that you're doing that on the website creation workshop, but you're not doing it on the other one because you've discovered certain things need to go in a certain order, other things don't need to go in a certain order. So I think that sometimes people hear like, oh, it has to be in order, and that's not everything is always the same for everybody. It just depends on your content, and when you're teaching it, you know it better than anybody else.
Yeah, and the website creation workshop is a very hands-on program, whereas my graphics creation workshop is less hands-on, meaning there's less need to for us to interact with them. Like they can
Hmm.
sign up and they can, just like Netflix. You sign up for Netflix and you watch whatever movies you want to watch. You can watch them multiple times.
Right.
So that's another, as a business owner, you want to think about too, is, you know, for your back end or people saying, oh, I need access to this module, I don't have access. And,
Hmm.
so that's another reason why I have it totally open.
Okay. Christina, you've shared so much with us, and I think we're about to wrap it up, but I did want to ask you an important question because you've been doing this for so long. I happen to know, and you mentioned it, that you use VAs and stuff. So what are some specific things like tasks that you assign to your VAs when you're running membership sites or
So I
courses?
have, and VA is a virtual assistant for those who don't know. So I have a customer service email address. And here's another tip for people starting. You want to have two email addresses, like one for you and one for your support. And if you're just getting started, you might be reading, responding to both.
Hmm.
But as your business grows and you hire someone, then that person can take over the support email, right? So we have support at is our email address. So it's good when you're starting online to set up two separate email addresses. If you're a one-man band, you just read and reply
Yeah.
to both, but then it's easy to hand off. So I have a support team that responds to the support emails. So that's the biggest thing I do.
And do you do all of the support via email, or do you guys have a ticket system, or
We
how
have
does that
a
work?
we have a ticket system. We
Okay.
use Zendesk.
Okay.
Users don't know what a ticket system is, so
Right.
we use the word email, but it is
Yeah.
a ticket system. Yeah.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
And that makes it just easier to manage. They sign in, my VAs sign into the ticket system, and it makes it easier to sort of manage what's going on with the emails because multiple
Yeah.
customers, multiple emails.
Okay. Well, Christina, just want to say thank you. You shared a lot of great information. I think it's always helpful for people to see, a site that's been built. And because sometimes when you just are starting with a blank slate, you don't even really know. So I appreciate you sharing those things with us.
You're welcome, Tracy, and I'm thrilled to have been such a long time WishList member.
Yeah, that means a lot to us. All right. Well,
All
thank
right.
you everybody for watching this, and hopefully it was helpful. If you have any questions, you can reach out to our support team. If people want to learn more about you, Christina, and the things that you have to offer, where's the best place for them to find
The
that?
best place to go is websitecreationworkshop.com, and then
Okay.
you can look in the top. You can see when my next workshop is coming up and the free trainings that I offer.
All right. Great. Thank you much.
Thank you,
Let me.
Tracy.
I'm gonna say that again. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tracy. Bye-bye, everyone.